Hello, and welcome to episode 22 of 10,000 Stitches Podcast, a weekly chit chat all about the joys of sock knitting. My name is Andy, and thanks for joining me to talk about socks. Let's see. Today I'm recording this on Monday, May 2nd, and this episode will go live on Tuesday, May 3rd. So another weird Monday recording after work, but that's how it goes sometimes. Anyway, if you were looking for me on the interwebs, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry as Purlbug, Purlbug. I also have my website at thepurlbug.com, and we have a Ravelry group for the 10,000 Stitches podcast. If you are looking for links to things that I mentioned in this episode, where you're watching will determine where you can find those links. If you're watching this on YouTube, down in the description box below, there will be a link to the specific blog post that goes with this episode. There's also a link to the Ravelry group down there as well. And if you're watching this on the blog or in the Ravelry thread for this episode, everything I mention, patterns, shops, anything like that will be linked underneath the video. So awesome. Like I said, it's Monday, it's about 6 o'clock at night, so my brain is fried. I meant to record this yesterday, but that just didn't work out. So this week's episode is a little bit weird, like I said last week, because this past weekend was the Powhatan Festival of Fiber. So I have some kind of video clips and stuff that I took there that will be basically in place of the chit chat stuff. But I did want to go ahead and talk really quick about finished objects, works in progress, what's coming up next, talk a little bit about the Knitalong that just ended for the cables, and talk about the Knitalong that just started for lace. So let's get to it. Let's see. So finished object. My finished object that I have this week is my business casual socks. And I was making these for Wesley, and so these look like this. The yarn is Wild Foot in the luxury sock yarn, whatever. It's 75% washable wool, 25% nylon. Come on, focus. You know you want to. Focus. Whatever. Wild Foot. There we go. And then this is in the colorway Tomcat. And it's kind of like blacks and purples and grays. Really pretty. And it actually knitted up really well. Like for being such a dark yarn, it did not make the pattern hard to see at all. So I'm really quite pleased with it. I don't know why my camera's not wanting to focus today. But anyway, so these were 64 stitch socks made on US size 1s, which are 2.25 millimeter needles, and Fish Lips Kiss Heel. And like I said, they were made for Wesley, and sadly, they don't fit Wesley. So they're just a little bit too snug around. So I'm going to see if I can maybe give them a soak and try and stretch them out a little bit and see if that helps. Otherwise, I will need to find someone with smaller feet who will wear these. But that's kind of a bummer. I was afraid that was going to happen. As I was knitting them, I was like, I'm afraid these are going to be too small for him. Should have gone up to 72 stitches, but we live and we learn. So the point is they will fit someone. And like I said, I think last week, it is now getting well past wool sock season here in Virginia anyway. So he won't miss them if they go to another home. Yeah, so that's my finished object. And then, so this was my last pair of cabled socks. I know I had said that I wanted to try and finish up my knee highs, and that just did not happen because, it just didn't happen. So these were the last pair. Mostly because I finished these on Friday. I think I finished them on Friday, and I was like, in the amount of time I have, I'm not going to be able to make a serious dent on those knee highs, so I might as well just start my first lace pair. So started the first lace pair on Saturday, which I will go ahead and show right now. So my first lace pair that I'm doing, I'm trying to see, last time my gain got a little screwed up on the microphone. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it down just a little bit because I'm still trying to figure some of this stuff out. And sometimes I mess with it and then forget to turn it back to where it should be. Anyway, so my first pair of lace socks, the pattern is by the Seine, I forget how to say it. It's a German word. By the Seine River. And I am knitting these out of Knit Picks Felici in the Nassau colorway. which is really pretty. It's like kind of like turquoises and teals and minty greens, and it's really funny. I made a comment to Wesley yesterday that this yarn matches my phone case really well. So if you couldn't tell, I like these sorts of colors. So yeah, so that's what this is. So I have one of them already past the heel. So this one I'm doing as a 72 stitch sock on, again, my size 1s. Again, I'm doing a fish lips kiss heel. These ones are probably going to be for me. And this is what the pattern looks like. So it's this really pretty kind of like fan lace pattern. And it's super easy. It's like a 4-row repeat, but you're only doing lace on one of those 4 rows, and then the other 3 you're just knitting. So it's super easy, super like quick to memorize. And it's really cool because it takes a self-striping yarn. So this is what it looks like on the back, because I did the back plain as I tend to do. So this is what the back looks like. So it's just a self-striping yarn, and it makes it kind of wavy. So, you know, I mean, the pattern shows this with like a tonal yarn, which looks really pretty. But I also think that this is a good pattern if you have like self-striping yarns, but you don't really want to make a self-striping sock. I don't think this pattern necessarily takes like really any more brain power than just a vanilla sock, but you know, it can take a self-striping yarn and make it into something very interesting and wavy. And especially because these colors are sort of like oceany, it just seems like the right kind of pattern for this, you know, it kind of makes me think of like ocean waves. So yeah, so that's that one. I'm a little ways into the foot on this one, so I expect that this one will get finished up within the next day or so, and then I'll start the other one. So that's what's in progress. The next 2 pairs of socks coming up, the one right after this is, I'm checking my queue right now, is the Vita socks, and those are by Mina of the Knitting Expat. And that's like a pattern of hers that I've had in my queue forever, and I've just been waiting for lace to come up so I could do it. And then the pair after that is the Paragon socks by Very Busy Monkey, which also looks like a very interesting pattern. So I'm kind of excited to do both of those. I have not picked out the yarn for those yet, so I will, I guess, surprise you guys. I have an idea of what I want to use for the Vita socks, but it's in my closet and I'm just not prepared, so I'm not going to try and dig that out right now. But it is like a greenish sort of yarn. So those are what's coming up. And I guess let's talk about the Knitalong. So this cables Knitalong that wrapped up on Saturday, well, I mean, I closed it down on Sunday, but anyway, ended on April 30th. Yeah, so we had 69 total entries, which was awesome. I think I had said something about like try and make it to 60, so I'm super excited that we made it past there. And the winner was post number 64, which is Alchemy. And let me see if I can really quick bring that up so I can be more specific. Of course, I navigated away from it. So post number 64. So yeah, so their Twitter handle or their Ravelry handle is Alchemy, and the socks that won are, the pattern was Mirkwood, and it was this, I'll post a picture. So she told me I could snag a picture, so there will hopefully be a picture up here right now, and you can take a look at them, but they are like Hobbit themed, so I think that's really fun. I'm not a huge fan of J.R.R. Tolkien, but I want to be. It's kind of like tea. Like, I want to like it because it's so popular and everyone else likes it, but I just don't. Anyway, so that's super awesome. She already knows. I already contacted her. So, and it's really cool because she is from Minnesota, which is super fun. I didn't do that on purpose, I promise. But, it's kind of funny that, I've been working really hard to like get local dyers here in Virginia, and then I'm sending something back to where I'm from. So that's kind of fun. So yeah, that was really fun. And I'll show the prize for that now that I have all the pieces for it. So I decided that this is going to be the skein of yarn that goes for this knit-along. So this is the PhD yarns, the Quantum Dots colorway number 10. And this is the really pretty one that has like a lot of like reds and just a lot of all the other crazy colors in it. So that's this one. The other one I think I might save for something else. Like, obviously it's going to be saved for future knit-along or giveaway because I already said it was going to be. But yeah, I have some ideas on like what I'm going to use it for. I just haven't quite decided yet. Anyway, so this is the skein of yarn, and then the rest of the prize is in this little guy, which I will show you later. Past me, we'll show you this later. I got this at the Fiber Festival, and it's really cool because it's not, I don't know that I would necessarily call it a project bag per se. It's more like a closable yarn bowl. Because if you look at, this is like the project bag that I keep my socks in. So this is obviously a lot smaller. And granted, you can fit a full caked up skein of yarn in here. And if you're using not hugely long needles, you could definitely fit those in here too. But it has this little grommet on it. So you can have your yarn inside and then have it coming out. And then you're knitting outside. So I think that's really cool because it's it just seems great if you just want a portable yarn bowl, basically, that can be zipped up. So then it's really nice because you can zip it up and then you can kind of carry it around or shove it in something else, but all of your yarn stays in here with just the little thread coming out. I think it's really cool. The shop that it's from is Daisy Said, and like I said, I will link everything down below. So there's this. There's also a set of needle point protectors, needle point cover things. So there's that. And then there will be 2 minis from Wandering Wool. One of them is it's 100% superwash merino, a 10-gram one, and this is in the Rock Creek sock. It's a really pretty blue. And then the other one is a MCN in the Ossable sock. I don't know if that's the color. I think that's the color. I don't know. Anyway, it's a bright red. So I thought these were kind of fun. They kind of go with the color theme of this. So plus about a zillion other minis that I have yet to wind up from all the socks that I made through these 2 months. So I have to get those wound up. And then there's also a teeny tiny little notebook in here because it fits so nicely in this size bag. So yeah, so that's going to be that, and that will hopefully get shipped off midweek so that it will not be forever before it arrives where it needs to go. So like I said, I just have to wind up a whole bunch of minis and get that sent out. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this all in one take. Normally I would pause it about here, but I'm going to keep going. So let's talk about the next knit along, and then that'll be done, and I'll go to the Fiber Festival footage. So the next knit along is focused on lace, and the way that I am defining lace, okay, so I should mention the threads for this are already up in the group. I put them up yesterday. So there is a chatter thread and an FO thread already up. And so the way that I am defining lace, let me read it off of here right now. So the way I'm defining lace is, the working definition of lace is that it must be a stitch pattern with a repeating design formed with increases and decreases that results in visible holes in the fabric. That's how I'm defining lace. So basically you have to be doing decreases and yarn overs in some sort of a repetitive pattern. That's lace. And then it also needs to be, I always say it needs to be a major design element. With lace, with the exception of maybe a few patterns I could think of, it pretty much needs to cover an entire side of the sock or be the entire leg of the sock. So with this one, the lace is going to cover the entire front of the sock, or maybe you do the entire leg in lace and then you do the foot vanilla, right? It has to be a decent proportion of the sock to be lace. And as usual, in the chatter thread, I linked a whole bunch of the free patterns that are on my queue for this month. Obviously, if you know of a pattern that I haven't linked there, feel free to plop it in that thread so other people can get inspiration. And if you have questions, if you see a pattern and you're like, does this fit? Feel free to ask, put a link to it in there, and I'll check it out and I'll let you know. So otherwise, the rules are pretty much the same. They have to be adult-sized socks. You can have short socks, but no super short socks, no Rose City rollers. They need to have at least an inch of sock above the ankle bone. I'm trying to think. No works in progress, so you have to start and finish between May 1st and June 30th. So the one difference, so normally I was saying, you have to make your socks out of fingering weight yarn. So nothing heavier than Patton's Croy. But it was brought to my attention that some people may not be able to buy fingering weight yarn where they live, that not everywhere has fingering weight yarn, which I hadn't even thought of. So then I got thinking about it and I was like, okay, well, it could also be the case that maybe someone, like maybe you have arthritis and you can't work with yarn and needles that fine. Well, okay, then I'm excluding them too. Or maybe, it's your very first pair of socks, or you're hideously slow. I don't want to say hideously, but really slow at making socks. And, there's no way you can finish a normal pair of socks within 2 months. So I am opening it up to all weights of yarn from here on out. But you guys have to not be jerks about this. So I'm kind of looking for people to kind of self-police themselves with this. So, obviously if I see one person spitting out 30 pairs of worsted weight socks, I'm going to start deleting finished objects because that's just kind of unreasonable. Basically only do heavier weight yarns if you kind of need that. If you can't knit socks fast enough, or if you physically can't knit socks with fingering weight yarn, or if you can't buy fingering weight yarn, whatever. And of course it still needs to fit the rest of the theme. So like with these, it's, it still needs to be a normal sock. It still needs to have, a cuff and a heel turn and a toe. So like none of those Turkish bed socks. Like it needs to be a normal sock. If you have any questions about that, feel free to let me know or ask in the chatter thread. I realized like, okay, I was unintentionally being exclusionary, and that's not really what I want. I want everyone to be able to make socks. I want everyone to be able to throw finished objects in the finished objects thread. So you know what? We'll deal with any problems that might come up later, but I'm not really anticipating anything because I know that we're all fairly honest and fairly, like, I'm trying to think of like the right word, fairly, like trustworthy people. So I'm not anticipating any problems. Okay, so that is about it. I'm going to go ahead and I guess now cut to the footage from the Fiber Festival. It was a really fun time. I didn't really film any of like the booths themselves just because I felt like that was like kind of an invasion of privacy. So most of what I filmed was just kind of like general stuff. It was really fun. It was bigger than I thought it would be. I would definitely go back again next year with a bigger budget because full disclosure, I went there with $100 to spend, and I show you at the end what I got. And granted, some of that went towards food and like our admission and stuff, but like seriously, it goes way not as far as you think it does, as is typically the case with these kinds of things. So I would definitely bring a bigger budget next year, but I had a lot of fun. I think Wesley had fun. It was good weather. So let's just go ahead and show you that now.
Are you videoing?
I am.
Videoing?
No, I'm probably gonna like put music over it. Hi. I just don't even know what I want to look at.
There's some fresh donuts back there.
Oh, so that's what I want to look at?
Let's see, there's
I want to look in there.
parfait donuts, southern smoking barbecue, kettle corn, cheesezilla. We need to check that out. F5 is blank. Funnel cakes, Gregory's Grill, Planet Ice,
Yum.
Poet and Voices, lamb barbecue. So, okay, thanks for me.
Sheepies. Hello, sheep. Hello. Hello. A bite of it. How is it?
That's pretty good.
Yeah? Everything you hoped for and more?
Yeah.
Also pretty good. You should try some of this.
I
got
bought
it?
It is mine.
You bought it with my money. Isn't that delicious?
Pretty good.
You are a strange looking bird.
I think he's the star.
Mama, 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 mama. Mama, 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 mama. How's your popcorn?
Pretty good.
How'd you enjoy the Fiber Festival?
Popcorn.
And a donut.
And a donut. And barbecued lamb.
Oh, it's a good day for you then.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good day for me too. I'm probably too close. This is why I don't vlog.
You're gonna hit that part out, right?
The video camera button. Does it have a little thing ticking?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey guys, so we just got done at the Powhatan Sheep or Fiber Festival of Fiber, whatever. I'm tired. We just got done, and I meant to record a little intro when we got here, but there was like someone standing right in front of the car helping us park, and it was like super awkward, and I was like, can't film. But I did film some clips, so you would have just seen that, and I thought I'd really quickly go over what I got. And Wesley is currently holding the camera, so he's giving me dubious looks over the top of my phone. Anyway, so quickly go through what I got. This I got for me. This is from Sheersty Cat, and I will of course link to all the shops down below as usual. This is Sheersty Cat, and the colorway is Drunken Rainbow. I just can't resist this. I'm super excited about it. I also got, in terms of yarn, I got some little minis. And some of these are going to be part of the giveaway prize, but you will have already seen that before this in the intro part that I'm recording, that future me is recording tomorrow. So I got some little minis from Wandering Wool, so I have 3 of those. I also got, as part of the prize, this little project bag, which is super awesome because it has like a little grommet, but I will have already shown you this. So, little project bag. And what else? I got a drop spindle. Finally got a spindle, so now I can spin up the fiber that my older brother got me for Christmas. So I have a spindle. And the last thing, which is totally not fiber related, is I got some honey, because I don't know, I just like to pick up like local honey whenever I go places that have it, because it's like one of those rare things that really can be completely local. So yeah, honey, and that was it. And it was a good time. Yeah, very much enjoyed myself. I didn't expect it to be as big as it was. There were a lot of people here, and it was a lot of fun. And I look forward to hopefully going to Rhinebeck in the fall, and hopefully coming back to this one next year. So yeah, and I guess this will be the end unless things go horribly wrong and I don't have enough to put together a vlog, in which case you won't be seeing this anyway. So if you are seeing this, then this is going to be the end of this episode. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you come back next week. And if you didn't like this kind of format, this is not going to happen very often. Next week we'll be back to the usual programming. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!